What words would I use to describe Bill Evanov?
Oh boy.
Prototypical entrepreneur.
Absolutely entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneurial.
Humble. Intense.
Talented. He's a maverick.
Fair.
Visionary.
Funny.
Tenacious.
Trustworthiness.
Bill Evanov is the CEO and president of Evanov Communications Incorporated, one of Canada's fastest-growing independent broadcast companies. A true entrepreneur, Evanov went from owning 3 radio stations in Toronto to 11 across the country in a span of just 6 years. In an age where independent radio ownership has drastically declined due to the consolidation of large corporate multi-chain broadcasters, Evanov stood firm and bucked the trend. It's one thing to operate radio stations. It's another to be hugely successful doing so, especially in major markets where competition from the large corporations is extreme. When a 22-year-old Evanov decided to get into radio, he knocked on the doors of every broadcaster and was rejected by every one of them, except Chin Radio. As fortune would have it, Johnny Lombardi gave him an opportunity. Chin Radio, a relatively unknown station at the time. With fervor and tenacity, Evanov became a sales superstar out of the gate. And within 18 months, he was Chin Radio's Vice President of Sales.
He was one of the very first that started in at ground level, and he was one of those guys that can really claim, a sense of responsibility for the great things that ethnic broadcasting has been able to accomplish here in Canada.
Radio was competitive even back then. So to ensure revenue success, Evanov created events and sold sponsorships despite the enormous workload it required. He became the king of event marketing, organizing several sold-out multicultural events every year, like Johnny Lombardi and Mel Lastman's annual Spaghetti Dig-In contest. And from this one event, Bill created the highly acclaimed Chin International Picnic, a staple event in Toronto and recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest event of its kind. Well-known celebrities and politicians attended the picnics, including Pierre and Margaret Trudeau. 14 years later, an ambitious Evanov wanted more. He and colleague John Ducalo convinced the shareholders of an almost bankrupt Burlington radio station that they could turn it around, and guaranteed its success in exchange for a 35% stake in the company. The deal was struck, and as general manager, Bill reformatted CING-FM from a failing AC station to Ontario's first dance music station. The new Energy 108 jumped in ratings from 40,000 to over 800,000 weekly listeners in 3 short years and became the choice station of teens and young adults from Hamilton to Toronto and beyond. Full radio ownership began soon after for Evanov with the purchase of CKMW AM 790, formerly Chick Radio. The station operating now as Chow AM 530 is one of the country's most coveted multicultural stations, broadcasting in a dozen languages with a heritage of almost 30 years. In 1995, Shaw Broadcasting purchased CING-FM, Energy 108, despite Evanov's every effort to purchase it himself. It was an enormous blow to him, and in response to the setback, he purchased CIDC-FM 103.5 and immediately converted it to a CHR dance music station. The newly launched Hot 103.5 went head-to-head with Energy 108, the station he had created and built just a few years earlier. The years after its launch, Hot 103, Hits 103, and now Z103.5 ultimately beat Energy 108 in ratings and became one of Toronto's favorite CHR radio stations and still maintains its rhythmic format today. In 2000, Evanov took over Newmarket's CKDX-FM, and once again applied his unique non-cookie cutter philosophy to create a hybrid format he knew could become an audience winner despite the station's limited signal reach. He launched The Jewel, today's new easy and light format that blends soft melodic music in a variety of genres from different eras. The station's audience has grown almost 700%. The next 5 years were spent building the company and submitting applications to the CRTC for available radio frequencies. And despite the very steep competitive nature of the opportunity and the enormous workload involved, Evanov and his team kept at it until 2005, when they won their first license with CKHZ-FM 103.5 Halifax. Within months of that victory, the company was awarded another license, CJWL-FM, known as The Jewel 98.5 Ottawa. Between 2005 and 2009 were the busiest for Evanov Communications, with the licensing of an additional 4 startup stations. CIRR-FM, known as Proud FM, a radio station dedicated to Toronto's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender population.
And every entrepreneur has to have a vision, and Bill has one. And what he's been able to do is find these little niches that are underserved and really ignored by the mainstream broadcast community. He's been able to locate these and launch them and make them successful. And by that, he's added he's been a tremendous asset to the broadcast community here in Canada and to the communities that he operates in.
CKHK-FM, known as The Jewel 107.7, Hawkesbury, Ontario's first local radio station. A second station in Halifax, Live 105, recently launched as the Maritime's first modern rock station, and CFJL-FM, launching in Winnipeg this year. In 2009, during what's been coined the worst recession since the Great Depression, broadcasters were downsizing, streamlining, or trying to simply stay the course, while an aggressive Evanov purchased Telephone City Broadcasting with its 2 heritage Brantford stations, CKPC-FM and AM.
And times got tough. In the last couple of years, Bill's mandate was not to let any people go. And I remember there were some times over the years at Chum when the economy was not great. And the first thing people think of is, okay, well, the only way to really cut expenses here is to cut people. My father would never do that. The absolute last thing he would do would be to let people go in order to improve the bottom line. And from what I've read about Bill, that's exactly was his strategy here. I am not going to let people go. We'll just do things better or differently, and we'll still be successful. And I think he's proven that.
With an enterprising spirit, Bill Evanov has achieved a roster of firsts and milestones in independent radio, in addition to creating new formats for audiences to love. He is the first broadcaster in Canadian history to provide female employees with equity through new radio license acquisitions.
Bill has advanced both Carmela and I to senior management positions, and he has rewarded our hard work and dedication through including us as shareholders of the corporation's last 4 radio station acquisitions through CRTC hearings.
His marketing experience and entrepreneurial savvy resulted in the creation of the famed Summer Rush Concert, the largest annual live concert produced by a radio broadcaster in Canada. Summer Rush, in its 18th year, is a platform for many local artists to perform to a sold-out crowd, and is now a success produced in Halifax as well as Toronto. Bill Evanov has walked the walk every day in support of Canadian music talent.
Congratulations, Bill. Among your many accomplishments, I like to sort of focus on the fact that you've never wavered from flying the CHR flag and from your support of Canadian artists. Unbelievable.
I think one of the things I respect about Bill is that, you know, there's 2 ways to go in this business. You could cater all the time to the trends and try to stay, and you'll never stay ahead of the trend. You'll always be 1 step behind it if you do that. Or you can just stay true to what you do and let them catch up to you.
The way you've supported independent Canadian artists and the things that you've done through Summer Rush and just so many amazing things that's really helped a lot of the artists that we work with. I just want to say thank you and congrats to you and all those amazing staff that you have, because they really make the difference.
Bill, you've always been a great supporter of instrumental music and particularly Canadian music. So you certainly are very deserving of this wonderful honor.
I just wanted to say a big congratulations, and if it wasn't for opportunities like Summer Rush and you guys playing independent Canadian music first, I wouldn't have had the chance to go to LA and live my dream. I was actually at the Oscars, so that was a big thing for me. So Bill, once again, congratulations, buddy. Thank you so much.
Bill has always been a supporter of original Canadian talent and really has become an industry builder, and he well deserves his place in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, and I congratulate you on your Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you for all the support throughout the years, man. Couldn't do it without you guys, and here's to many more years with the Z103 and the rest of the team. All right, thanks a lot so much.
Congratulations to you and the Evanov Radio Group on your induction into the Canadian Music Week Hall of Fame, and for all of your support over the years. Congratulations, man, you did it.
Helping contribute to the station's programming success includes son Paul, who showed an interest in the family business at a young age.
Hey Dad, I just want to say congratulations on your fantastic award you're receiving tonight into the Hall of Fame. I think it's wonderful you're getting recognized after all your years of building up fantastic radio stations. I just want to personally say it's been an honor and a privilege to grow up in the radio business with you since the age of 14.
Daughter Christina, whose love and passion for public service lended itself to the stations being responsive to the communities they serve. With efforts such as Student Crime Stoppers, a partnership between the public, the police, and the media.
On behalf of the Toronto Police Service, I want to express my gratitude to Bill Evanov and the Evanov Radio Group for their unwavering support of the Toronto Police Service, and in particular for their support of our Crime Stoppers program. It's through their effort and through their support that we are all working together to make Toronto a safer, more livable place for everybody. We're always grateful for that support.
Evanov Communications supports education through a series of scholarships and endowments for several partner university and college institutions, and has committed itself to the Aboriginal Media Fund that encourages, promotes, and makes possible the development of Aboriginal talent. Despite a recent recession where the broadcast industry witnessed hundreds of layoffs and millions of dollars in cutbacks, Evanov managed to not only keep his staff intact, he maintained the tradition of bringing every single employee from across the country to head office for the company's annual Christmas party.
Congratulations on your induction into the Canadian Music Industry Hall of Fame and on winning the Alan Waters Broadcast Lifetime Achievement Award.
On behalf of Steve Kane and everyone at Warner Music Canada, congratulations, Bill.
Congratulations, Bill. I'm very happy for you.
Bill, auguri, felicitación, congratulations, and my love.
There is no one else that deserves this award that I know more than you. Congratulations.
All these years later, you're still having fun, and everybody else is, and it's been a wonderful ride, and look forward to many, many more years. So congratulations, all the best. I love you.
Congratulations, Bill. It's great news to hear that you have been awarded the Alan Waters Award for Lifetime Achievement, and that you are now being inducted into the Canadian Music Industry and Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Way to go, buddy.
On behalf of the Canadian broadcast industry and Canadian Music Week, we are proud to commemorate Bill Evanov's contributions to the broadcast system with the Canadian Broadcast Hall of Fame Alan Waters Lifetime Achievement Award.